Hello guys, welcome back to S3D, and this is not a video I want to make, but I feel like it's necessary to make this video and talk about some stuff that maybe a lot of you guys don't want to hear. But unfortunately, this is an issue, and I can see about a month from now, or maybe 2 months from now, people are going to be crying for help financially on social media. This is pretty much like the same thing that happens every year, especially with us so-called collectors in this collector community. I talk about this in my Discord, and actually, I went on a stream last night uh, on a channel called Punk with Toys, and some people were actually discussing this in the live chat section, and I was like, yeah, well, this kind of stuff is very serious. People get divorced over this kind of stuff. It's not something that's funny, It sounds like I'm joking around, but this is very serious. As you guys know, as us collectors, often a lot of us actually share a same mental health disorder, maybe one or two. A lot of people that I know have suffered from obsessive compulsive disorder or some sort of a compulsive disorder situation, and some people have, depression, and these things, they all have very similar characteristic. In fact, these issues are often commonly, uh, we a lot of us share the same medication and stuff like that to address this issue. It's an issue that's related to the SSRI, like a neuroreceptor in the brain, and we deal with things differently. But the compulsive part, I feel like a lot of us, even people who suffer from depression, have this uncontrollable shopping disorder, and you can see right here, trouble holding off unnecessary purchase. I think that's like 99% of the collecting community. We have this issue. And also obsessive research over coveted products. Yeah, so basically we spend a lot more time, like, going after these things, hunting for these things, or doing research about this thing. But once we buy the items, like, almost none of us ever even enjoy the thing that we buy. Sometimes we just buy it because the price is good, or we buy it because we need to scratch that itch. Yeah, it's like that part is the thing that alleviate our symptoms. But the once the stuff gets piled up, the pile's the pile. It's just gonna be there until at some point, we don't care about it anymore, and then we have to get rid of, either by selling it or giving it away or donating it. That's exactly what I did. Even though I really, really thoroughly enjoyed the Robot Spirits line, I even did that with stuff that I really, really like, and it was the only line of toys that I collect. And I feel like, this is definitely a problem, and it's a problem I see with everybody. So we need to talk about it. Yeah. So anyway, um, a lot of time we spend a lot of time just preoccupied, either thinking about these things, obsessing about this thing, or actually just shopping for these unneeded things. And that's money that we actually put aside. That's gonna either depreciate to nothing, or it's just basically throwing away money at this point. Some people argue, well, since the price is so low with a lot of cheaper clearance out items, we're not really throwing away a lot of money. But yes, we are still throwing away time. The time that we spend looking for these things, those are not coming back. So you know, it's and if you're using shopping as a way to as a therapy for these mental health issues, no, this is a very, very expensive and ineffective way to deal with these kind of problems. You can actually seek therapy and have like a more effective means of dealing with it. Uh, yeah, and also a lot of people run into financial issues because of this uncontrollable shopping situation. Also, relationship issues. Like I said, now a lot of people end up getting divorced over this, because some spouse, they just had enough of it. It's nonsense. If I was a person who never suffered from these type of issues, and I had to deal with someone who have to struggle with these issues on a daily basis, I think no matter how generous, how charitable I am, at some point, my patience is gonna run out. It's it's just a human thing. So yeah, it's very problematic. People talk about this issue. I actually knew friends that have relationship issues, even issues with work, where they actually end up getting let go because they just spend way too much time at work obsessing over stuff and not paying attention to their jobs. Believe it or not, this actually happens a lot in the workplace. There are a lot of bad employees who are actually not bad employees. I just see them struggle with either their substance abuse or, their mental obsessions. And it actually takes a lot of time doing their work because they're on their phones, obsessing over these kind of stuff and not paying attention at all to like what they're supposed to be doing. So it's a huge problem. And I think during the holiday seasons, like this thing just gets even worse. Like people double down on this, and it become like this humongous mess. One of the reasons why I stopped doing like those toy hunt related content is two things. First, I'm pissing people off with like these deep discount prices, and second, I don't want to just be because people think like if I go out to the stores and I'm getting all these items, they're gonna try to do what I do. This is like a problem with social media influencers. We have viewers, we have thousands of viewers, and sometimes the thing that we're not aware that we're doing that harming people is actually harming people because let's just be completely honest here. I think a lot of us are broke because of the economy. The economy is completely broken at this point, and I don't think anybody have any money. And another thing is, since people don't have any money, they're still obsessing over this thing. We are creating like a problem on top of another problem, and it's not gonna go away. And then I know just a couple months from now, when people are completely broke, they're gonna be crying. They're gonna be, doing these things on social media, and nobody's gonna care because life sucks. Everybody's gonna have problems. But then if you put yourself in that kind of situation, you're hoping that people are gonna help you out, and then your thing goes on deaf ears. That's gonna be another issue. You'll be like, oh, nobody cares about me, blah 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 blah. Well, this is something that we have to, address very carefully and pay a lot of attention to, because everything that we do, we have to think about the ramifications of our actions. With our spendings and managing finances right now at this point, I think is very important because I don't think this economy is actually going to get any better. We can be, hoarding all these things, but eventually, at some point, we're not going to get the money back. And also think about like if you're going out there, you're spending money on gas and time. You're not going to get a refund on the gas. You could be spending hours and gallons of gas, like just looking for these like, deeply discounted items. I know a lot of people are doing it to the point that I can see a lot of stores are running out of supplies, and yeah, it's gonna be a problem, but it's not gonna be like an immediate problem. Like I said before, it's gonna be probably a month or two before people start crying on social media about their financial issues. And like I said, I'm telling you right now, this is a problem. This is something people need to be more careful about. And if you're looking at stuff that you don't even want, and it's just because it costs $1, maybe you should probably try to reconsider, because you have to think about these issues that we all share. This uncontrollable obsession over an item, unneeded item. This is a serious problem, and I think a lot of us just have this itch that needs to be scratched. But like I'm telling you, don't feed the beast. Don't give in to your desires, because these are the things that can come back and hurt you in the long run. And not only that, there's a lot of temptations during the holiday seasons. It's like we just need to be aware of these temptations and not give in to them, because uh, the consequences, like I said, a couple months out, you'll see, how this is going to affect you financially, the next year and stuff like that. We have, like, all these ads on television just trying to get people to spend all their money on, like, ridiculous things, because it's the end of the year and all these companies need to make money. They need to balance the books. They need to do their year-end reports, so they to appeal to the investors. That's why we have all these sales. And that's actually good for the corporations, but bad for the consumer. I mean, this is all set up in a way to benefit the corporations and hurt us. We're gonna, like, spend the next 6 months recovering from the holiday seasons, and that to me, I think I've seen past that, and I hope you guys have seen past the bullshit, and start realizing, there are things that we can probably, just take a break. Uh, none of these things are necessary. But if we continue to give in to our, uncontrollable desires, the consequences is something that we just have to live with. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're okay with dealing with the consequences later down the line, uh, you know, it is different for everybody. Some people, like, just don't care about consequences at all. But, for people who are concerned about this issue, maybe this is something that we can, you know, uh, address, like, maybe together, or, individually, because everybody have their strengths and weaknesses. We're all human, but, I feel like if we can identify this problem, we will, most of us will just trying to figure out a way to deal with it. And that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys find the information helpful. Thanks for watching.